I get calls from people who want to break their lease and they think that, just a little bit of mold is going to be something that allows them to. And I don't condone that. Now, I am sympathetic to a tenant who has reported a severe case of mold. Like I did one the other day for a little old lady who had rented from these gentlemen, and the men were really nice, the lady was really nice, but there was just an issue with the amount of mold that was in her apartment, and she needed to break the lease, and I determined that the apartment was unlivable due to the amount of mold. Now, if someone calls me and they're just like, "Hey, I need to break my lease," well, you've got to have a significant amount of mold for that. And so I wanted to go over a case where a lady was trying to break her lease, and she actually was successful because not the amount of mold, because of the type of mold that was found there. Because they had to come in and do some renovations, and she would have to move out while those renovations were done, and so they just parted ways amicably. That's my understanding of how it ended up. But first, this is some hidden mold that not a lot of people realize they have in their house. And finding it is as easy as turning over your toilet lid and looking at your tank. And you can see here, this is the downstairs bathroom of the house that I did that we're going to go over here. But she's got a significant amount of mold on the toilet lid tank. You can see here it's even sweating. If you look there at the left, there's some water droplets. So she's getting some high humidity inside that toilet. And it's a water source. It's not something that you can eliminate. So just be cognizant of this. If you're mold sensitive, make sure you clean the underside of your toilet tank every once in a while with some like a Clorox bleach wipe or something like that. It was pretty significant, as you can see. This is maybe the thickest mold I've seen on the underside of a toilet tank. But this is her upstairs bathroom, and what had happened, you can see still there's mold on this too, but that's not the point of this. But you can see where it's right next to the shower on the right, and then the wall is immediately to the left. So what happened was there was a backup into this toilet, and it leaked sewage all over the floor. She called the landlord, and they came and they cleaned it, which to their credit, but sewage had gotten underneath the wall and settled underneath the bathroom vanity. Well, there's no way to clean or dry out the underneath of the bathroom vanity. It's a closed in area. If you look right here, you can see that's some water damage that happened from it. I took that picture. I thought that might be mold. We didn't test it, so I wasn't sure, but it's definitely evidence of water damage. But you can see the baseboard on the right there. That's where the sewage just, unless that's perfectly hermetically sealed, water is going to leak underneath there. And that's exactly what happened. It was so much, it went to the left side of this wall where the bathroom vanity was. She had some issues. She'd complained about her health issues. She had told her friends at work, either I'm crazy or I have mold, and I don't know which one it is. Hopefully, and she said, hopefully this guy, me, can tell me what the issue is and if I'm crazy or not. And the sewage that had backed up, here's some evidence on the door here. It had gotten the door wet, and these doors are not hard solid wood, so if they get a lot of moisture, they're gonna laminate or delaminate, like you see right here. They put some screws in to try to hold it together, but you can see from the front it's got some severe water damage. But I tested this area, there's no mold on that, so it had evaporated before the mold could take hold, and that's fine. But I went over to the vanity where it had some water damage underneath it, and I opened the door, and I was hit with a huge, overpowering smell of mold. And that was my first cue. It was like, okay, there is mold here. I just have to find it. And seeing that this is particle board, even though it's painted, you can tell that it's been wet. It's not that smooth particle board that you usually see. And anytime particle board gets wet, just a little bit of moisture, it bubbles and it changes shape. So you can definitely tell from this picture that something isn't right. And so I searched and searched and searched, and you can see the carpet's kind of pulled up right there on the left. I looked underneath that carpet, and voila, there was your mold right there. And so I tested that. And I felt really, really happy to have found that for her, because she was over the moon knowing that she wasn't crazy, because her cat was having health issues. She was having health issues. We tested it, and it turned out that it was positive for chaetomium, which chaetomium is a mold that you do not want in your home, even in small amounts. It has been found to cause cancer in laboratory animals. It's also been found to cause birth defects in laboratory animals. I'm not a doctor. I can't say that this was what was making her ill, but if 2 plus 2 equals 4 and there was a toilet sewage backup, and immediately afterwards she starts feeling ill from whatever's in her house. I mean, it was even to the point where this was in her upstairs master, because it was a 2-story condo, and she would not go upstairs. She started sleeping downstairs on the couch because she said every time she slept upstairs, she felt ill. And if 2 plus 2 equals 4, she's got chatomium growing up there in her bathroom vanity where she's sleeping every night. I feel like it's a safe assumption to say that this was affecting her health. But she was able to break the lease. Everything worked out for her, and I was happy to have found it for her and justified her claims. So if you're having issues and you need a mold inspection, Longview Mold Inspectors, feel free to reach out to give me a call or text me. If you text me, tell me that you watched this video and I'll give you a discount just so that I know that somebody watched this. 903 900 mold.